The unprecedented move of Chip Kelly leaving a Big Ten head coaching job to become a Big Ten offensive coordinator is just another sign of the times of college football in the year 2024. But the combination of Chip and Ohio State, I believe, will benefit the Buckeye offense more than if Bill O'Brien were to stay on as OC.
From LA to Piscataway, all Big Ten all year long. This is Big Ten 10.
Man, it all really started with that LA Bowl press conference where Chip Kelly kind of became college football commissioner for a day or two, as he was kind of pinpointing the things that he would do, the things that were right, the things that were wrong.
You know, a lot of different things. But I think if we still do the same thing and take all that money, and I would do this, and I think this needs to be done, that money now needs to be shared with the student athletes, and there needs to be revenue sharing. The players should get paid, and you can get rid of NLI, and the schools should be paying the players because the players are what the product is.
That's what kind of led up to these last few weeks where Chip Kelly sought out NFL offensive coordinator jobs and other jobs outside of being the head coach at UCLA. You could tell by his demeanor, you could tell by his attitude, even at that time, that Chip Kelly probably wasn't going to be the head coach at UCLA in 2024. It's not in him right now to become a college football head coach. Because being a head coach in college football now is a whole lot different than it was 4, 5, 6 years ago. There's a lot of fundraising that goes on. There's a lot of booster meetings that goes on. There's a lot of schmoozing that goes on in order to get those dollars within your program to retain talent and able to recruit talent with your NIL collective. And that's just not Chip Kelly. When you think of Chip Kelly, do you think of him as an ultra personable guy? Do you think of him in front of boosters? Do you think of him going out and fundraising dollars for the program? No. When I think of Chip Kelly, I think of a guy that wants to do one thing and one thing only. He wants to coach ball. He wants to draw up a game plan. He wants to draw up a scheme. He wants to convert 3rd and 5s. He wants to score points. That's what Chip Kelly was put on this earth to do. And that's why the situation at Ohio State is so great for both the Buckeyes and for Chip Kelly. It's a marriage where both sides really get what they want. When you think about it for Chip, okay, what's one thing outside of the NIL and fundraising and the schmoozing? What's one thing outside of all of that he's also not a fan of? Recruiting. Recruiting. Even some of the days at Oregon, right? For as much talent as they brought in, there were some years where maybe recruiting, you could tell that Chip wasn't exactly a fan of going out on the road a ton and recruiting. When you look at Ohio State within the room, look at Ryan Day, one of the best head coach recruiters in the country. Look at a guy like Brian Hartline as well within this offensive coaching staff. Okay, Chip Kelly is probably not going to be asked to recruit a ton, and he's perfectly okay with that. Chip would absolutely love, a perfect world for Chip is being locked in a room 10 to 12 hours a day, watching film, devising a game plan. If that is his job at Ohio State, he is going to be happier than a tornado in a trailer park. That's why this fit is so good right now, because both sides get what they want. Ohio State already has the recruiting down. Chip Kelly doesn't have to schmooze. He doesn't have to fundraise. He gets to focus on football. And when Chip Kelly can just focus on football, he is one of the best offensive minds out there. College, high school, professional, it doesn't matter. Chip is one of the best, and he's really going to benefit from this Ohio State marriage, and Ohio State is certainly going to benefit from having Chip Kelly as well. One reason among many that I believe Chip Kelly is going to find success at Ohio State is personnel. I'm going to throw out some years for you, and I'm going to follow those years with some names. And as I go through those names, you're probably going to notice a trend. 2008, Jeremiah Masoli at quarterback. This is when Chip was the offensive coordinator. How about 2 1,000-yard rushers in Jeremiah Johnson and LeGarrette Blount? Chip becomes head coach, 2010 and 2011. How about Darren Thomas, LaMichael James, Kenyon Barner? How about 2012? Marcus Mariota, D'Anthony Thomas, and once again, Kenyon Barner, over 1,700 yards that season. What do all of that have in common with what Ohio State has coming in 2024? You have a quarterback that succeeds in reading defenses and QB design run plays. RPOs, read options, those types of things. And then you have two extremely skilled running backs in the backfield, Quinshon Judkins and Trevion Henderson. When you look at Bill O'Brien, right, he was in the room for Ohio State for 3 weeks. He is more of a pro-style type of guy. And when you look at the personnel that they have here, not saying Bill O'Brien wouldn't have worked, because I'm sure they would have found a way and they would have found a scheme that worked for them. But I believe this is as close to Oregon and those heydays at Oregon that Chip Kelly has been. In terms of personnel, this is as close as those great Oregon run games that Chip Kelly has had in relation to the level of play that he's had. And I think the talent level is about as high as it's been, maybe the highest it's been relative to the level that he's coached in, right? Because he's coached in college and he's coached in the National Football League as well. When I look at those Oregon teams, right, a lot of people think basketball on grass, they get up and down the field. Maybe they throw the ball a lot. No, that wasn't Oregon. It was about getting as little defenders in the box, spreading everybody out, and running the football. Not running the football with a bell cow running back necessarily, running it with one guy, running it with a quarterback, running it with another guy, and another guy. And Ohio State's room in 2024 and Ohio State's makeup on offense really tells that same story. And this is a familiar situation for Chip Kelly to jump into and says, yeah, I've done this before and I can certainly do it again. Chip Kelly's combination and his skill set combined with Ohio State's personnel is an extremely great match. Ryan Day, all he's got to do is let Chip Kelly cook.
Thanks for watching Big Ten Ted, where it's all Big Ten all year long. Make sure to like the video to spread the word of Big Ten Ted to the masses, and subscribe to the channel for updates on Big Ten content that drops every day.